welcome to this episode of The Eagle's Eye. I'm your host, Alayna Ross, and joining me today is Scott Garlock. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So we're going to start from the very beginning. So how did you get started in music?
Wow. I think I just went to the rental meeting as a fifth grader, and I picked out a trumpet, and then I got braces, and trumpet really hurt, and I wasn't very good at it, and I picked up a baritone and one of my private lessons, and the teacher said, "You're going to do this from now on. You're not going to play trumpet." So that morphed into trombone, and people have been suffering ever since.
So then, what drew you to jazz music particularly?
Well, that's a little bit of a process of elimination. I mean, what opportunities do trombone players have, right? I mean, it's not like I can do cocktail bluegrass trombone at tableside, you know, in a nice restaurant. So, yeah, limited options on that front. So, but with that, I, pretty early learned that it was just really attractive, fun music to make, and very unlike any other kind of music that one could make. So, and then finally, there's the part where an athlete strives and strives and strives and knows that they will never ever be everything that they could be. And the same is for a musician, except we've got a much longer shelf life. I can try not to play wrong notes for decades and decades and decades, whereas an athlete, by the time they're 35, they're pretty much done. So it was a really attractive walk of life to go through that way, because I knew it would always challenge me.
Helps you're good at it too.
I've been lucky so far.
And then, so tell me a little bit more about the jazz band here at Ashland University.
So we do amazing work for the size, just like you do here in this studio. We've gone and favorably challenged groups much larger than us and won at some pretty prestigious jazz festivals. We tour every year, which is really unique to a size of school we are. We go overseas every 4 years, excuse me, and we have a jazz festival where we invite really famous folks in every year too. So it's a really kicking program for a school our size.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's great.
Where's your next tour going?
We just got back from Virginia 2 weeks ago. We played a festival there, and we will be going to Spain next year.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you're looking forward to that.
That's right. We need a singer.
Hey, I know where to find one. And then I know that you're also involved in music outside of the university. So what is that like to balance both being a professor as well as being a performer?
Well, one invigorates the other, honestly. I think, the worst ivory tower dynamic a music prof can have is to not make music because we're expecting our students to do it. So we need to be out there practicing and suffering and having the public judge us just like we do our students. So I think that's really good, and the challenges that I encounter as I try to play right notes with people are the same ones my students do. So, it really feeds that. So, and then, of course, it's really great for my students to see me with Cleveland Pops or Cleveland Jazz Orchestra or Playhouse Square, wherever I might be making noise.
Yeah. So which do you like better, teaching or playing?
Oh, boy. So I always wanted to be a player when I was in college, but I discovered that it's a bit of a selfish walk. You have to ask a lot of your family because you always have to practice every day, and your weekend nights are not yours. You're playing somewhere, and you can't really do certain things until you get that slice of time in the day over before you go somewhere to do something fun. So I had a great student teaching experience, and I discovered that I've got all this information, and it's really pretty cool to share it. So, I don't know, I try to make the best of every moment I'm in, and sometimes that works out in reasonable teaching, and sometimes that works out in reasonable music. Great. And I like them both.
That's good. It's good to at least like both of them. All right, so if our viewers are unfamiliar with jazz and they wanted to get started, if you had to build us a jazz starter pack, what would it consist of?
So that's going to be a little bit different for everyone, I think. Kind of depends on what you bring to the table initially. I was personally desperate to hear people play my instrument because, how many famous trombone players can you name? Right?
Yeah.
So, you could have a 14-year-old that's like the most amazing trombone player on the planet at his age. He doesn't know any professional trombone player. So I sought the guys in Chicago Blood, Sweat, and Tears, those sorts of guys, and the Crusaders, and that's how I got into jazz. So probably not the heaviest stuff. You know, people don't know that they're hearing jazz all day long when they're listening to ads. It's the most used music when you're trying to sell a car, or I mean, maybe not an F-150, but
yeah,
just about everything else. I mean, it is, you hear a muted trumpet playing something mournfully or tastefully in the background. You hear it constantly. So it's unfortunate that this music that I've built a career around has kind of a pejorative connotation when one just says the word, because you are associated with it all the time, and it's a bland label, just like rock's a bland label. I mean, there's a gazillion types of music contained in both. So to answer your question better, I think mid-50s Miles Davis is kind of pretty and easy, and it's nice sort of backgroundy sort of stuff, and it doesn't require a whole lot of labor on some parts. I mean, there is jazz absolutely that requires so much of your brain that you get exhausted listening to it, and that's not how you should start.
Okay.
But I don't think you should start with Kenny G either, because it's hard to wean somebody off of sweets.
Yeah, definitely. So as a musician myself, I know that there is a difference between music that you like to play and music that you like to listen to. So what is your favorite song to perform, and then which is your favorite song to listen to?
I played with the guy that was a bit of a famous bass player in the 60s, and we were playing some really awful gigs and playing some really awful music, and he was just marvelous, right? And I finally would ask him, I asked him that very question, what's your favorite song? He says, the one I'm playing right now. And I thought, well, that's the attitude to have, you know? Because the opportunity to play what you want to play doesn't really present itself that much. I mean, I bet if you asked the Rolling Stones, do you really want to play Satisfaction again? They'd say no, but I mean, they know where their bread's buttered. You have to do what pays the rent. So I get hired to play all sorts of things. I'm playing opera music tomorrow night with Cleveland Pops, and it's beautiful music. The trombone parts are abysmal. I mean, they're really stupid, but I'm going to try and make the best of it. So I mean, that's really the fast and ready answer. I'm just going to try and like whatever I'm playing in any given moment and not judge it. Now, I'm still trying to like country music better.
I think we all are.
but I think the more you try to open your ears and mind to stuff, the better it becomes, for sure. So I like to just make noise with other people. It's a really interesting challenge and an experiment. And the best part about jazz is that so much of it is spontaneous. So, you go hear Journey play, and the guitar solo in Faithfully is going to be exactly the same. Neil Schoen's going to play exactly the same guitar solo. We'd never do that in jazz. I mean, it's always going to be a different solo, and that's half of what we do is improvisation. So, yeah. Do I have a favorite song? I don't know. Maybe All the Things You Are or Body and Soul are fun to play because they're really challenging.
Okay. That's the best answer I've ever heard. I like that. The one I'm playing right now. That's good.
I wish I made it up.
So if the students here at Ashland University want to get involved in the jazz band here, where can they access information for that?
Oh, they should visit me. We have a few groups. We have a couple of combos that kind of range from Dad helped me with this improv thing to tunes that have groups that have historically kind of created their own music. We've had club dates with students most of my time here. And then the big band, AUJO, Ashland University Jazz Orchestra, is an audition group. And to get into that, I just have auditions starting the first week of classes. And I've got information for that on the door of my office, 104 CFA. Come see me.
You got it. So is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I mean, we have a concert on Tuesday if you're, I don't know when this airs, but yeah, this coming Tuesday we're at the Eagle's Nest, 7:30. Get there early. We always sell out if you can do that at a free venue that is a snack bar, really.
Yeah. Draws the crowd. Jazz and some snacks.
It's really cool to play there because you'll trying to do something nuanced and soft, and you hear, "Number 76, Jane!" It makes for good music.
It's good practice for the performers.
Right.
Keep you focused.
Right, exactly.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being
sure.
here with me today.
Thanks
This has
for
been a wonderful
doing a
interview.
great job.
Oh, thank you. So that about does it for this episode of The Eagle's Eye. If you would like more information about AUTV 20, you can follow us across all social media at AUTV 20. I'm Alayna Ross. Thank you for watching.